All right, well, if I could get Luke and Lynn in, I think we'll just take over from here, and then when they're finished, we'll take our break, and I'll let Luke just kind of send you on into that when the time comes. So, all right, so let me introduce you to Lynn Adams and Luke Naliborski. These two guys, when I only had 2 tours, when I only had 2 tour companies, in Decatur and Alton, these 2 guys became my very first tour guides that were not me. Actually, I think Luke was first. Oh, Lynn, oh, sorry. All right, Lynn was first. And stepped in, and then Luke did shortly after. And yeah, we couldn't do it without these guys, so I'm always glad to have them around. And we started doing strange stuff. For those of you who have really been with us for a long time, back when we had the conference in my bookstore in town, and we just, man, did we squeeze 100 chairs into that thing. It was just wall to wall. I would turn down the air conditioning like Monday all the way, and you could hang meat in there. And then everybody get there within about 5 minutes. No one could breathe. It was too hot. So, but it was fun. But a friend of mine, John Brill, he said it would be a lot of fun if we started doing something on Friday night that kind of kicks the conference off, where people could kind of tell their own stories and talk about, some of their experiences, and everybody could kind of share. It's just kind of something to get things rolling. And John did it for a few years, and then John retired and passed it on to Lynn, and then Lynn hooked Luke into doing it, and so then John has now since passed away a number of years ago. So, but we've kept the tradition alive in John's honor. So, anyway, I'm going to pass this mic on to Lynn or Luke, who doesn't have one. Luke. Okay, I'll pass this on to Luke and let you guys get rolling, and I'll see you again.
No, I want to bring up a story. Actually, it's an investigation that we're just now starting. I don't know if you guys follow us on Facebook, but we've been mentioning some of this on Facebook. But there's a house that we started investigating where this lady, she had contacted me and said that she's got something going on. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to do your own cleansing when you don't know how to do a cleansing. And she did this, and I think things were okay for a little bit, but then they kind of started to ramp up. But some of the things that she was experiencing, flickering lights. She had 2 kids. I think one was 3 and one's probably 7 or 8. But the 3-year-old was having a lot of issues, seeing monsters in his room, and refusing to sleep in his room, and would come running into her room screaming that the monster was trying to get him. Yes, well, we'll get to that. So she did a cleansing, and things got better for about a week. And he was sleeping in his own room, so the monsters were gone. Then a week later, she had walked into his room. She was hearing some kind of voices. And when she walked in, the 3-year-old's laying in his bed, staring up at the ceiling, just talking in tongues. I mean, like, just gibber, but it was like words. That she didn't understand, but there was a rhythm to it. Like, there was, he knew what he was saying, but she obviously couldn't make any sense of what he was saying. But he was just staring straight past her, and not seeing her, not reacting to her, and scared the out of her whenever she experienced that. I think it was shortly after that was when she had reached out to us to see if we could come in and try to help. So we had went in to do an interview with her first before we bring the team in. Just to, we always talk about how sometimes you can explain a lot once you meet the people, with what they're experiencing. And we always tell the story of when we went to do an investigation, and when we walked into the house, the first thing you saw was like 30 pill bottles on a table. And sometimes that explains what they're seeing, and what's between the ears is medication. Yeah. Just to show how confused the lady was, she was infatuated with Len the whole night. Like, wherever Len went, she was on him, following him around. So I think she just wanted company, but anyway.
250 pounds of man loving.
See, I always call it 250 pounds of gray, really, is what, that's the new book we're working on. So anyway, we went to do the interview, and I think things were actually active when we went there. The lights were flickering, which she said it normally doesn't happen. The house was only, was built in 2005, I think, or something. So, very, not an old house, in a new subdivision, nice neighborhood. So most likely everything's tied to the land. Yeah, farm grounds surrounding it. And lights were flickering for us. at one point, Len likes to wander off a lot of times when we do these investigations. And he got into one of his modes where he wandered off, so we'll let him go from here.
Okay. She talked about this stuff that was happening downstairs in the basement. It's not a very big basement, but it is finished. So I wandered down there, and there was one little bedroom that they had built. It was really nice, clean. I walked in, had all the bells and whistles. Nobody would talk to me. Nobody would make any kind of connection. So as I turned, I said, okay, if nobody's talking to me, I'm going to leave. I just turned past the corner of the bed, and out of the window came one of this lady's cats, jumped out through the blinds onto the bed. That's the closest I ever came to sharding myself. And look, and to make things worse, she has 3 cats. One normal cat and 2 of them that are both missing a right eye.
So we were joking, there's 4 eyes between the 3 cats.
I call them Popeye 1 and Popeye 2. So one of those rat bastards jumped out of the window. And I swear he's on the bed now going, So I decided to go back upstairs.
Well, we were all excited thinking something fantastic happened, because of the way he came running up, and then he tells that story. But, the other thing that was funny is while we were investigating, you guys used the cat balls, the greatest advances in technology of ghost hunting, but we use the cat balls now, we love them. We had the cat ball laying in the dining room, and we're sitting there interviewing, and all of a sudden we see that cat ball go flying underneath the couch, look like a police car. And then there's the cat running after it. So the whole night with the cat balls, every time they moved, there was a cat on top of it. But anyway, we did mostly interviewing that night, got a lot of the stories, kind of got a direction of what she was wanting to do. And, she was wanting the stuff gone. And Len and I, we can't do that, but we know people. We knew people who could do that. And Andrea Holman, who will be set up tomorrow, so I guess she's not here yet. She's actually in the booth next to me. And then Sherry Kane, which Sherry, I believe, is here. I think I saw her earlier. There's Sherry. They're members of our team. And we came back with the big guns, with the 2 of them. And do you have them come and actually do a cleansing? But we wanted to investigate first, see how things were, and then figure out what needed to go and what could stay.
Sherry and I decided to go up into the little 3-year-old's room who was having the experience. And so we were going to do the Estes method, but we didn't have all our proper equipment. So Sherry was doing the best she could with ear pods or whatever you had. No mask, just close your eyes. So I sit on the floor by the open door, but before, because I wanted to get away from her a little bit so she couldn't hear the questions I was asking. But I had to set up the dog balls because they're bigger. I have bigger balls than Libby. I don't say one thing dirty, and these people are
The way they take it, just ridiculous.
Anyway, I set 2 up in the room, 1 in the doorway and 1 just outside the doorway. And I forget what question I asked first, but it was something about, can you give us a sign or show us that you're here? All of a sudden, those cat balls in the hallway and in the doorway came flying into the room. And I'm like, holy crap, we got something. Turned around, there was Popeye number 2. I like to leave, if people have pets, I like to leave the pets out because I want to see if they're reacting, to things too. We're not going to lock them up or throw them outside. But anyway, our balls were useless with those cats. She brought out her big doobie-sized sage. After 2 puffs, you can tell it's not real. But anyway, so I'm laying in the middle of the front yard, feeling nauseous for trying to smoke that thing. And she says, "No, you idiot, it's to cleanse you." I said, "Well, I think it's about to."
All right, guys, so if any of you guys have a story that you would like to share, this is your opportunity. We'd like to hear what you guys are doing, investigations you guys are doing, maybe equipment that you're using that you've had a lot of success with, that the rest of us could start using. So, Lisa, you have something?